Hello, 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 hello.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome to episode insert in post of the Floyd Nation podcast. I think this is episode 4.
Right.
Put it right there.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Mike, put it right there. So, with me, I have my rhythm section brother, Justin Papillo,
Yes, you do.
as well as Mr. Bob Harris, keyboard synth extraordinaire with Floyd Nation. And then special note, although your representative called and already said that he wasn't happy about the headphones, so apologies to Bob's hair.
Yeah, we appreciate that. That is an inconvenience, but we'll have to get through it.
Okay, so thank you for being flexible. You know, it's
my thing.
yeah. I mean, I even took time out to do my hair this morning, and I knew I was going to be in here with even Justin.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did. Yeah,
Fresh shave.
Fresh
you know?
shave.
Nice fresh shave. It's nice shine.
Yeah.
So we just had a run of shows. We had what? 5,
six, I believe.
6
it was.
shows.
Yes.
6 shows in October.
Mm-hmm.
We were in Pennsylvania. We were in New Jersey.
Right.
We were in Virginia. 2 different places in South Carolina and Greenville, Tennessee.
Yes. Yes.
Anything? Well, we also hit Buc-ee's in South Carolina.
That's important. That's an important thing. Yeah.
That's a whole
It's a
separate conversation.
pilgrimage. Yeah. It's,
But yeah, no, we had. So let's go back to Penn's Peak. What do you guys? What's good? What do you remember from that night?
The amazing sunsets over there. It's
Oh,
great
sure.
to take a little break and step outside, get some fresh air, and hit that sunset and kind of set the vibe for the night.
Right.
It's my
on.
favorite thing to do there.
Yeah.
it's very peaceful. I used to live not too far from there in State College, Pennsylvania, and it's reminiscent of that area that I lived at in Pennsylvania. And it's the mountains and, like you said, the sunshine, the sunset. It's crisp, cool nights. It's beautiful. That time of year too is beautiful in October. So it was very enjoyable.
Yeah, the leaves were just starting to change.
They were.
when we were up there. Yeah.
My favorite part of that venue is the drive up the mountain and cutting through all of the forests on the highway, getting there.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
It's cool.
And of course, John was driving, and we ended up taking a detour like multiple times. He would miss the road. He'd miss the turn. And so he just kept going straight, and it would recalculate and go down a little further, and he'd miss the turn. Oh, okay. But hey, it's only an extra 10 minutes this way. Okay, so we go, miss the turn. Oh, only an extra 5 minutes. So, an hour later, we finally get to the venue.
I'm laughing because I'm relieved that it's not just me.
Well,
Directionally challenged.
Very much so.
Jason was driving. He hit a deer
Oh,
on this run.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that was that sucked.
Yeah, it's the first time I've been a part of hitting a deer.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically the deer hit us.
The deer ran across the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we're still wondering why it chose to try to go to the other side.
Why the deer crossed the road?
I don't know.
I think it walked away, and I didn't see any damage that.
Yeah, we'll
Kind
go.
of.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, I think the deer walked away. The deer was stronger because of that experience. That's what,
Sure. Sure. Yeah, we messed up that deer's day. That deer.
we just made him late for something. That's all we
Man,
did.
yeah, no, it was bad. It sucked. I hate seeing animals go through,
Yeah.
things like that. So, but
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, speaking of Penn's Peak, I mean, I really enjoyed Penn's Peak. I always enjoy Penn's Peak. I think we always play well there. I think we play well everywhere, but Penn's Peak is always special because it just has this kind of a log cabin kind of a feel. It's a very homey feel. The crowd, they know us now. I mean, they come specifically to see us there. And because we always put on a good show for them, and it never escapes me that we're playing in a venue just like a lot of these venues, Scottish Rite and Ferguson and all these places. We're playing at venues where that next week a band like Yes is going to play there, or a band like Kansas or Styx, or all these other bands that are well known, notable bands, and it's humbling. It's very humbling that we get to share the same stage or be on the same stage that these other icons of rock music are playing.
I've said this before. What I love about Penn's Peak is they have all of the. It's just a plethora of signed tour posters over the years of everybody, and I'm like, oh, there's Huey Lewis, there's America, there's Yes, there's this, there's that, there's
Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull. It's wow, my gosh.
Yeah, Aqualung. It's amazing that we get to add. We get to not only, like you said, share space and add to that vibe, but we're also adding, our own bit of energy into that lexicon of that building.
Right.
You know,
we're part of the history.
Just like as crazy as this sounds, we're also part of the history of Abbey Road.
We are. That's right.
It's kind of blistering to.
I'd even say we may even be bigger than the Beatles now.
That was Bob Harris. A quote from Bob Harris.
Again, I just want to reiterate that was Bob Harris with that quote. We want no hate or retribution from the Beatles crowd. We apologize profusely for nothing.
Of course, that was tongue in cheek. That too was an extraordinarily humbling experience.
The biggest thing since sliced bread. I said that. You could quote me on that because we're much bigger.
That's a safe quote, by the way.
Yeah, we're much bigger than a slice of bread. I think, individually, even.
So we went from Penn's Peak to the Scottish Rite Auditorium in Collingswood, New Jersey. I remember the acoustics in that place being
very
really
good.
Yeah,
very good. It was one of those theaters where the seats are all up on an angle going up.
Oh, like Ruth Eckerd Hall, which we'll be at on November 22nd this year.
That's right. But so every seat in there is a good seat. In fact, it's not as deep as Ruth Eckerd. It's actually more shallow, so the incline is higher. And the seats are amazing. Of course, it goes all the way around the stage as well. So it's just a beautiful venue too. I think it was another one of these gorgeous venues that was developed or built sometime in the probably 1920s, 1910s, turn of the century. So the architecture is beautiful and just classic looking.
Sorry about that, Bob.
That's okay. Felt good.
You guys need me to leave, or
No, we need a witness. Please.
That's where it took a turn.
Hopefully, we turn it back around.
Yeah. From there, I was in New Jersey, or not after New Jersey. We instead of flying back, I drove back to Aldie, Virginia, to go hang with Tracy and her side of the family for the rest of that week. Had a lot of fun. Spent a lot of time on the road. Pretty much drove back home, and then 2 days later we got on a plane, or a day later, getting right back on a plane to go back on the road and hit up the Ferguson Center in Newport News, Virginia, on October 22nd.
Right. First time in Virginia for us.
What a turnout!
Oh, amazing.
That was. We also had a choir, the Virginia Children's Choir. Big shout out to Grace Parkinson. Thank you so much for bringing your choir and to celebrate this music with us and to add on to the show. We raffled off an Elite Customs guitar. It's a, you guys know what it is, but it's a black Strat replica, a David Gilmour black Strat replica, including the Gilmour switch mod. So Joe Elton, the Luther with Elite Customs, he's made it right down to the actual Gilmour's modification switch. So we typically raffle off a guitar when we have a children's choir, and we were able to raise just under $2,800 for the choir in Virginia.
That's amazing.
It is, because it gives us the ability to further connect and build a community but we're creating these core memories for kids, and and showing what's possible for the next generation of potential performers and musicians.
We're also allowing them to be on a fairly large stage in front of a fair amount of people that they may not have ever played in front of before, outside of maybe families or auditorium events or whatever. But yeah, that's a very good experience for them.
Yeah.
I would also point out that every time we do this event where we're raising money, where we have the choir coming in, that we raffle off this guitar, it should be noted that we do, I think, 100% of all the proceeds go to the choir. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's right. Right, we do 100%.
100%.
We should make sure everybody knows that, because we're not taking some percentage off. We're not taking 10% of the profits, or it's 100% goes to the kids.
Yeah. Well, which is cool. It's one of the ways that we can additionally give back.
Right.
It's not lost on me how unique and special the opportunity we have is, to be able to go out and tour places, to be able to go out and complain about a long drive between venues.
That's never going to change, though. That's never change.
The complaint's never going to change, but the perception of the complaint, being, well, yeah, we have a long drive, but we get to go play music and create memories and do all the things that we set out to do.
But we get to give kids the bug, and that's, I see these fresh, wide-eyed kids get on this stage. Some of them probably for the first time, definitely, with all the bells and whistles and the lights and the sound coming at them. You see a lot of them just like the ones that you can tell, the ones that totally embrace it, that are like the naturals.
Yeah.
At one point, I think John was like, "Give it up for these kids," and there was one kid that just owned it. I mean, he must have been like probably 8, 9 years old, and I was like, he's a natural. Everyone follow that kid.
Yep.
You're gonna hear about him in 10 years. Like, I guarantee it.
Yep.
He just loved it. Like,
we also had a children's choir on the 24th, where we were at the Alabama Theater in North Myrtle Beach. That was with the Carolina Children's Chorale with Sarah Morey. Thanks so much, Sarah. It was wonderful to meet you. It was wonderful to have your choir out. With them, we raised close to just shy of $2,500.
Right.
Which is, again, amazing. It's going that the money that we're raising with these, when we raffle off these guitars, goes to help cover costs and continue education for the next generation of performers. And it just, it hits me right in the feels.
Well, that's a genuine thing, because it really goes back to the core of why we're doing this. We want to connect with people. We want to connect with the audience, but we also want to encourage people to just engage the music, and encouraging kids to engage in music. It just feels like we're allowing them to, or making it possible to get these kids involved in music and show them what we can do with music, what they can do with music, and help them along the way. It's such a satisfying part of what we're doing. It's amazing, and so I'm really happy we're doing it.
So one of the shows that we had a choir, I forget which one, but kids were Shane and Omar, I believe, and they were playing Uno.
Oh yeah.
So I sat down. I'm like, deal me in. Let's play. Took about the next 30, 40 minutes before getting on stage, sat and played Uno with these kids. Over that time period, Shane was like, "So what are you doing here?" Which is actually a really good question for, a kid to have for an adult he's never met before. Like, why are you here playing Uno with us? I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to, perform with the band tonight." He's like, "Oh, we're going to sing, for Brick in the Wall Part 2. I'm like, "Cool." He goes, "What songs are you going to play?" I said, I think I might play them all. He goes, what do you mean? I'm the bassist in the band. So you're telling me I'm sitting here next to the bass player of the band playing Uno. And I went, so you're a smart kid. Side note, I spanked the both of them in Uno. Relentlessly.
Well,
without
that's really something to hang your hat on there. I can beat a 10-year-old.
In Uno.
In Uno. In Uno.
In Uno.
I may not be smarter than a fifth grader, but I can play some Uno.
I could make you draw 4. With a wild card.
Dude,
draw
they
4.
have wild cards now with Uno that are blank. So it's like you can choose whatever you want. So you can be like, I want you to reshuffle your cards in the deck and then draw 30. And everyone's got to go through, put all their cards back in, shuffle it, and draw out 30.
That just sounds like mean Uno.
It kind of is. It kind of is. Then you can color stack as well. So it can be like completely random stuff and it's all green. So you just throw down all greens. What is this?
Oh, it's the monopoly of Uno.
Well, it still was Uno. Jumping back in time because, that's how it goes. We got a cake. Do you remember the cake?
Penn's Peak, yep.
Yeah.
Penn's Peak?
Yes.
A friend Paula brought us a cake, which is
Go ahead.
Use your words, Jason. Crazy, and that's not the right word.
It was a beautiful cake.
It's an absolute beautiful
Gorgeous
cake. I'm gonna
cake.
pull it up in a second, and we're gonna watch. Because obviously we took a video of it, but the cake was a Dark Side of the Moon cake. It's absolutely gorgeous. He took a lot of time and effort and artistry and creativity in making this beautiful cake. I just find it weird that we have a community of people that want to bring us stuff like that.
Oh, yes, yes.
I haven't wrapped my mind around it fully yet, but it's just a cool.
Well, yeah. Every time Marie comes to the show, she'll bring us some kind of brownies or just real brownies. Not the.
Well, no. These brownies are healthy brownies. She makes them with She uses like sweet potato flour
or almond flour,
cacao,
all this good stuff. Yes.
For being the personal trainer and bodybuilder that Marie is, and yeah, we saw Marie and Joe.
Yes,
at
a couple times.
venues.
Yes. They made a heck of a trip. I mean, they'll drive 2-3 hours sometimes to come see us. I mean, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of fans that do that. That's surprisingly probably a couple dozen at least that I know that will hop in a car. Sometimes they'll hop in a plane to come see us. It's I was not expecting that when we first started this, to have people that's so excited about what we're doing, what we're bringing to the audiences, that they would take time out of their lives to spend a day to drive, half a day to come see us.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any expectations when we first started doing this band?
I was hoping we would play, a couple gigs a year. I was expecting we'd get maybe a half a dozen or a dozen gigs. No, I think we kind of knew at the beginning that we had something special. Nice. And that's, from the first practice we ever did, first rehearsal we ever did, it was just amazing. And so we all kind of got together and said, okay, let's figure out how we're going to do this. And we said, well, we need the best lighting system we can afford, the best sound system, the best production we can do within reason. And we said, of course, we're only going to play large venues. We're not going to play the bars and the clubs. Mm-hmm. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just it makes sense to us play in the big venues because that's we'll establish ourselves. And I'll never forget, after our second ever show, there was someone from a booking agency in the audience, and he came up to us afterwards and said, we want you for a national tour. Second show. That's pretty profound.
Yeah.
I think at that time I knew we had, obviously we knew already we had something special. Our first show was just beyond over the top. I mean, our first show was just spectacular. Then I look back at the videos and I think, wow, we've come a long way. I mean, it was spectacular then, but it was such a different show from what we have now. Our show we have now is so much even more amazing and
bigger, and it's seasoned. You know, I think our new show is
seasoned. Yeah,
you know, it shows the progress and the growth and the mindset of of all of us in the band that when we go in to put it together. Now, Bob, can you give us a quick 30-second takeaway? Your professional life before coming into Floyd Nation. What did you do earlier on in your professional career?
Earlier on in my professional career, I was in the cable television industry. So I had every intention of being a rock and roll musician when I was in high school and after I got out of high school, and I was playing in a band. We were kind of busy all throughout the Midwest, but things happen in life, and I ended up being in Texas and being in various different bands down there. And in order to pay the bills, I was working in cable television as a technician. And by the time I'm in my mid-20s, I was married, 2 kids, and a third one on the way. And I realized that this music career was not going to pay the bills. And so at that time I said, well, how about instead of spending 2 or 3 or 4 nights a week at the bars playing music or whatever, how about if I go back to school? So I went back to school and studied the field of physics, and I went back into cable television as an engineer, scientist engineer, and had a wonderful career for many years developing technologies, internet technologies, fiber optic technologies, radio frequency RF communications, satellite microwave communications, and internet-based technologies. It was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. Traveled all over the world. Had great people working for me, and but there came a time when I was at a point in my life where I was, working 12, 13, 15 hours a day and flying 130 flights a year and being gone 150 nights out of the year. And but I was seeing a lot of my coworkers, a little older than me, but they were kind of plopping over, maybe passing away and just or being sick. And I thought, well, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break for a while and just kind of get a perspective on life. But with every intention of taking off for a year and then going back to that. And after I was off for a year, I found out that, well, I kind of like being at a slower pace. And so I was busy doing consulting work and on the board of companies and things like that. But started playing more and more music. I'd never stopped playing music since I was in my teens. But started playing in different bands and played in a bunch of different tribute bands. I played in Genesis type of tribute bands and Yes and Jethro Tull. It was a lot of fun, and so it was. And I played in a lot of different configurations and things. But came across a Pink Floyd tribute band, Wall of Echoes, which was very good. Good time playing throughout Florida, and it was a good introduction to playing Pink Floyd full time, which is one of my favorite bands, of course. And then, of course, Floyd Nation sort of materialized, and then the rest is history.
When and Justin, I'm going to ask you these same questions as well.
Okay.
So I want to know when you went back to school and got your degree in physics. Thinking back to your earlier days of playing, a musician has to sell themselves, and this is completely different than the Floyd Nation podcast, so this is going to get edited out. But a musician has to sell themselves like harder than a salesman, really, when trying to get into a scene or break in. Do you find that any of your networking skills that you picked up while selling yourself as a musician that helped you in your professional life after the fact? Or anything that you like? Did you draw anything from your musical career early on that helped you navigate through your professional career?
Oh, so that's a good question. I have to. compliment my mother for instilling in me at a very young age that there's literally nothing I can't do. I mean, this wasn't just, oh, Bobby, you're so wonderful, you can do anything. It's like, get your ass out there and work your butt off and make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to just live a life digging ditches, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. But if you want to, be an astronaut, whatever, you can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
So I always, even at a young age, I was just always driven to I knew that I could do anything. As a good example, when I was 12 years old, I found out that Neil Armstrong had started taking flying lessons when he was 13. So I told my mom, I said, I want to take flying lessons when I'm 13. And she says, great, you do that. How much does it cost? And of course, I'd done my homework. I said, well, it's $150 for the first 10 hours. Great. She says, do you have $150? I said, no. Do you? Mom said, no. She said, you make $150, you can go ahead and start flying lessons. Oh, okay. So I had a paper route, morning and afternoon paper routes. I shoveled snow in the winter. I mowed lawns in the summertime, shoveled manure on my grandfather's farm, and on my 13th birthday, took my first flying lesson. So, I mean, I just knew that if there's anything I can do, I'll do it. And so I always, I just knew when I started playing music, and 16 years old, we're playing in the bars and stuff, and I'm going to be on the big stage someday. I just knew it. Of course, it didn't really materialize as well as I thought it would, and that's why what happened by my mid-20s, I'm realizing, okay, I got a taste of real life here. I've got to, make some decisions. But I always had it in my head that, I'm going to be successful in one way or another, and I had that same drive when I went back to school. I mean, I was tunnel vision. I was working full time. I was going to school full time, raising kids, and it's just. I don't know how I did it, but I did it because I was going to do it. And so I think it's just always instilled in me that if it's something I want, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it.
Right on. Right on. Justin.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start playing drums?
Let's see. Well, I got my first drum set when I was 12. I took a liking to it when I was like 11. That's when I went to my first concert. That was it was Grand Funk Railroad and Edgar Winter.
Ooh,
so just tapping around on a drum kit and then seeing Frankenstein performed live. I mean, was really it's an experience I will never forget. Mm-hmm. And I remember my dad kind of giving me the nudge of being like, "Take notes," like I know you like playing drums. Like this is the top of the heap right here. And ever since then, I've just been kind of chasing that whimsy, of to kind of to pay homage to what Bob said, where it's like, you're capable of doing anything. That was also something that was kind of instilled in me very young. The only thing to take into consideration is incentive. And I think I picked up drums so passionately because I had a natural knack for it. And then by the time I developed enough skill into my early adult life, I figured out I could make a living doing it. And so that was all the incentive I need. It's something that I'm passionate about and I can be successful at and also makes me happy. So
When you broke into the scene, started getting gigs and things, how were you selling yourself?
Well, it was a very rocky start. It wasn't just a walk through the door and suddenly I'm here. It was like it was almost like a wrecking ball, because like you're kind of in the building and then you're back out, and then you crash back in the building and then you're back. It was a lot of that because it takes stability in finding chemistry with people that you play music with.
Yeah,
and then there's also the factor of what bars are hiring. And also, like, what songs are you playing to keep the gig? So there's all this experimentation that I feel takes place. Luckily, I was young enough and I had the drive and the energy to kind of throw myself into anything to kind of see what sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And, I eventually, the ball starts rolling. And even then, when I thought, like, cool, I'm working 4 or 5 nights a week, that can still come crashing down pretty much at any point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good incentive to realize none of this is permanent, and to be grateful for every day that you get to go and make a living doing what you love doing, and to always be grateful for those that are also in the position that you were previously in, which is, you see someone that's been doing it for a couple years. It's like, what can you do to kind of help them mow their own path in a way? And that also strengthens your own abilities and like your own confidence. And I think that especially like now that I am a little more established and a little more like competent in my movings in the music industry, like I always try to like remember like there was a point when none of that was there. And I'm literally 19, 20 years old trying to get work in bars that won't let me through the door.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, no, like I can do the thing. And they're like, yeah, okay. And then before you know it, I got X's on my hands and like I'm having to go through the back door. And
Yep. If you got both of you, if you could, go back to your younger selves and be like, hey, dummy, you'll have an easier time if you go this route. What kind of advice would you have that you would give your younger self that you would want to try and instill on the next generation of performers that are out there?
Just keep going. Don't stop doing it. The only way you want to stop is if you feel like there's either nothing to benefit from it or you're just not passionate about it. And like to pursue something that you're not 100% in, it can open other doors to things, but to realize that unless you're chasing it 100%, the guy next to you probably is. And like, not that it's a competition or you're trying to beat him to the gig, but it's kind of the caliber of what we do. I mean, it's called playing.
Right.
We do what children do.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable. And when you can do it with people that you have a real camaraderie with, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. And I'll chase that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I would. That's a fantastic point. I'd add on to that for myself, saying, because I was already really committed and driven, I would say if I could have added another 10% more drive, just another 10% more commitment, 10% more appreciation for the moment that I was in. I mean, I look back at those times and fun times, but I needed to spend more time working on technique, working on playing. I thought I did at that time, but when I look back, probably not enough. And more time on writing music and more time working, collaborating with the other musicians, writing music. We wrote a lot of music, but not enough. And it probably stuck with it a little more than we did, because ultimately we fractured and splintered, and I ended up moving away to a different state, and then floundered trying to find compatible musicians, because that's probably the biggest part there, trying to find compatible musicians. And I'll say this to everybody: I can't be grateful enough for the people that we have in this band. We get along so well together. I mean, we have a little infighting occasionally, but who doesn't? But it's not really infighting. It's just differences of opinions.
No, we're fighting, Bob.
It's passionate communication.
That's right. And
we're fighting. Just so everyone knows, Bob and I are going to fight. Not right now. We put our differences aside. It's like, peace day. But when we walk back out these doors, it's on.
But yeah, we have a great core of people that we all get along with each other.
Yes.
We communicate well with each other, and there's just none of that contention that I've seen in other bands or other organizations. You have that in other organizations, not just bands. Where I worked in my other career, I mean, there's tensions in an organization, or your organization has differences with this organization, but we're in the same company. Yeah, but we don't like what they're doing. It's like, come on, you're all one big group.
Yep.
So yeah, that's important, to having a good knit of people, and really massaging that, really working that out. And if there's any kind of dissension or problems within the greater group that we have, then we work at eliminating the drama and working through the issues.
Yep, we do. I love that. If I were to go back to thinking on when I first started working as a musician here locally in Lee County, I think I would tell myself venture out more, hit more of the open nights and open mics and jams, and be open to the criticism because it's going to come.
It's never too late, Jason.
Well, thank you.
It's never too late.
You're right, Justin. That's why I have you.
I'll tell you exactly what you're doing wrong all the time.
Yes.
Let me get the list out here.
By the way, Jason, you're perfect. You're beautiful. I love you. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, my dude.
But I'll let you know when you.
Thank you.
Things
Thank
get
you.
straight.
Appreciate that. It's nice to know that someone has my back in my professional life.
That's right, man.
Unlike Bob.
Bob holds it down.
Yeah.
I got to say, on a side note, this last run, I've seen Bob have more fun than I ever have. I've seen him come out of his shell, dancing on stage.
Leaving his keyboard rig.
I love it. I
Bouncing
love
and bopping.
it, Bob.
I was feeling pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I'm always feeling good when I'm playing. I have ongoing. I love-hate relationship with my rig, and occasionally I have difficulties with the rigs, and if it's one of these days where I'm having some problems, it's usually at the first start of the run because when we haven't played for a few weeks or a month, or I'm having some difficulties, and so, but once the second show, third show gets in, and now there's a groove, and now I don't have to worry about any kind of little quirks that's happening on my keyboard rig or the computer, and so that frees me up to be a lot more relaxed and more in the moment. And I can tell you what, there was several times when I felt this thing that Ray talks about often, where you have this moment of just full gratitude, this full awareness that you're here in the moment, and you're making this connection with your bandmates, you're making the connection with the fans. It's symbiotic thing, and it just it wells into you, and that's happened multiple times on this last runs.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
yeah.
It was a beautiful thing for sure.
Right on.
Yeah, no, it's funny you mentioned gratitude, because it's been in one of my coaches, Fee. Big shout out to Fee. She's amazing. Really, she's really helped me bring the gratitude to front and center, and helped me to start reflecting back on that, in times where you may lose that focus,
Right.
because we all get tunnel vision. And the last runs in October have really filled up the gratitude bucket. Being able to see these events we've created for kids, but not only for the kids, but for all of the people that come out and to see us in the audience. We're helping. I feel like we're helping change our timeline, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time there's a collision, there's an opposite reaction. So my takeaway: if there wasn't the event, then all of those NPCs, because we're all just NPCs in everybody else's movie. So, but when we put an event together where all these NPCs can come together, then
We all hear the same voice for a minute.
yeah,
we pay attention to ourselves and the people around us more
Right.
so than normal.
and I feel like that we're connecting. Like the gratitude is not only connecting with us internally in the band, but it's being shared back and forth between the audience and us.
Mhm.
And maybe I was calling that like the ball the volleyball that would go back and forth, but I think it's really just the gratitude gratitude of being able to perform for people that truly love what we're doing.
And it's possible that this is being shown or being displayed in the advertising that we do and the YouTube videos that we have, because let's think about it. We're in Virginia on a Wednesday night in a town we've never played in.
A bunch of dudes in a room.
We've never played in, and we're pulling in hundreds of people on a Wednesday night. And it's like, okay, that people have never seen us. They're rolling the dice that they've heard about this band. Mm-hmm. They've maybe seen some YouTube clips, and they see something special. They've seen something, and they think, well, I've got to experience it. I've got to go check it out because is this really real? And I think that's pretty profound that we were able to go into these cities and these locations we've never been in, and 5, 6, 7, 800,000 people or more are showing up first time. Never, except for the people that drive 4 hours to come see us.
Thank you again.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And a lot of like classic Floyd fans are now bringing their kids out for their first concert, and a lot of them it's our concert. Like I've talked to so many kids that are just like, "This is my first concert, and I can't wait to be back. You guys are awesome. I am now a Pink Floyd fan."
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
What was your first concert, Jason?
My first concert was Zeta Fest back in '93 over on the east coast of Florida. Okay. So there was a rock station, 94.9 Zeta, and they put on this big outdoor concert. I saw Spot. I saw, who else did I see? It was all of the 90s grunge that was out at the time.
Cool.
How old were you?
12 or 13.
Okay.
Right on.
It was also the first time I got a lap dance.
Okay.
Nice.
There was,
do you know what band was playing when you got your lap dance?
No.
Oh, man.
No, because I got a lap dance.
You always remember the song, man. I got to cue my song.
But, anyway, you can imagine. I was preoccupied.
I feel it.
There was no, it was weird. It was like I'm walking around and there's all these vendors and I'm like, hey, do you guys have water? And I'm like, no, I just have this lemonade. I'm like, can I have some? He's like, well, it has vodka. And I'm like, well, I'm really thirsty. And I'm like, okay. And so I had a little bit of that. And then there happened to be this tent where it was like the local strip club. And I'm like, what's this? So I peek through the back and I see what's happening inside. I'm like, all right, well, let me get in line for this. And hand to God, they did not ID me. I walked in, handed the lady like $20 and got a lap dance.
Yeah, do not say the name of that strip club.
I don't even remember what it is.
They will not. They will be in trouble after this.
No, I think it's the whole statute of limitations is passed. But anyway, I don't know why that story came out.
It's amazing. That's why.
First concert.
First concert.
We all know Jason a little bit more.
But no, actually,
now.
My first concert, like actual like core memory creating concert, it was with my aunt, and this was back in the 80s. Her first husband was in a band and had a recording studio in his garage, or in his basement. John Longo was his name, and he had a band. They were doing some Doobie Brothers at a rehearsal studio, and she brought me to hang out and check it out. I knew from that moment that's what I wanted to do, that I wanted to be on stage. That was it. I knew that from there. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I knew that was going to be the moment.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So, taking it back, if I could, another thing I would instill, just like Justin, you said, don't stop connecting, don't stop creating relationships. If college is your thing, awesome. If college isn't your thing, okay. But whatever you do in life, chase it without abandon.
And stay inspired.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's a challenge in itself. You go through these ruts and you're like, nothing's really pushing me. You're like, a lot of times you either need a break or you just got to get out of your comfort zone in some way and pull something outside of music into your inspiration. A lot of times. Sometimes
we get so focused that we can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
So it helps to be able to take, as John likes to say, take that Google Maps, Google Earth view, pull all the way back, look at it for what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. So back to the Floyd Nation content.
Oh yeah, that's why we're here. Oh,
yeah. We had a new, on backing vocals. The first half we had two different backing vocals with us, along with Tanisha. So we had Ashley Lockheed for the first run, and then we had Mandy Jo John join us for the second run.
Yep.
Both ladies are awesome.
Yes.
Amazing vocalists.
Incredible.
both of them just fit right in. Like, I feel like you guys have your groove for your vehicle, like for the Bobmobile.
Yeah,
There's it has its groove, it has its thing. You know, there's for the tank, there's a groove, you know, in itself. I think it would throw off everybody if we were to mingle that up.
We would. It would. It definitely. Yeah.
To those that are listening, the tank is the vehicle in which houses certain members, and then there's another vehicle that houses other members. And where we used to kind of mingle, everyone kind of fell into a natural homeostasis.
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
Of what car they naturally like to travel in. And yeah,
we have the crew in one vehicle, and then the tank, which is, well, I call them the kids. You know, the kids are in the in the tank, and the adults
it's
are
like
in the
herding
other one.
cats.
Yeah, it's the tank and the discount club.
You can guess which one I'm in.
Go ahead,
Put it right here. Put the answer right here.
Mike. Do it. Mandy Joe just fit right in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talking about the second half of the runs, second leg,
Second half of the run.
Yeah.
Strike
Second
that.
leg of the run.
It was a
Thank you.
shitty run.
What an awesome human being. You know, we're going to have her for a couple shows coming up in our Florida run that we have. And we'll talk about those shows in a second. And we'll also have Shannon back for a lot of the Florida run. Actually, for all of the
For all
Florida
of it,
run.
yeah, she'll be there. Yep.
So there'll be a lot of fun that we're going to have with that. I'm really excited about the direction we're going with everything. It's really nice that November is that special month for me touring. October, November, it seems like we always hit the Penn's Peak in October. Then we do our Florida run in November, and we get to go see, like this year we're doing on November 13th, we are doing the Tracy and the Villages. 14th, we are doing
The Parker
Playhouse in Fort Lauderdale.
Yep.
The 15th, we are going to be at the Immokalee Casino.
Whoop, whoop.
The
Okay.
16th, we are going to be at the Daytona the Peabody in Daytona.
Yep.
And then we have a couple days off, 3-4 days off in between. Some of us are going home, but the cool people are going to go race go-karts.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun. That'll be a lot of fun.
Found out John's joining us for that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
So now
Should we plug the place in case people want to
No.
maybe visit us there? You
I
know?
don't know.
Maybe
No.
we'll have a little.
They
maybe
go
not.
45 miles an hour. Or we could have stayed in Daytona and hit the ones that go 70.
Ooh.
Ooh. See, I say both. Why not just back to back it? Daytona one day, Orlando the next day.
You got a couple days. I mean, really, you got a couple
Couple
days.
days.
We could. We could.
No,
So after we got
time.
time, responsibilities, stuff. Then after those couple days, we're going to make our way over to up the Panhandle. We're going to go back to Pensacola.
Sanger Theater.
Oh yeah, Sanger Theater.
Yes.
And it'll be our second time there.
Yep.
I'm hoping to see some of our people from Sanger Mobile.
Right, from Mobile. That's right. A lot of people that saw us at Sanger, Pensacola, came to see us at Sanger Mobile, Alabama, and vice versa. So
Then from there, we are going to across the Panhandle to Jacksonville. We're going to see Kevin Stone over at the Florida Theater. Yep. Always fun seeing him and the crew. From the Florida Theater, we are going to where, Bob?
Ruth Eckerd Hall. Love that. Yeah, that's iconic.
Awesome venue.
Yep. It'll be a great way to close out that run.
Yeah. Yeah. We are going to, so the plan is we're not going to have a choir at every show. We only have a choir at the Tracy. In fact, that choir is the children's choir of the Central Florida Kids Choir. I may be mispronouncing the name. I am sorry, Shannon and Ashley, if I am. But they have started a choir out of Central Florida, and they are going to bring their choir to perform with us at the Tracy. So that's going to be a fun time. But I'm planning on, we're going to do raffles, guitar raffles at every show this in November.
Okay.
And where we're not supporting a choir, that money that we're going to raise is going to go towards Music Alive Southwest Florida, which is a nonprofit here locally in Fort Myers. That when natural disasters happen, they raise money to help musicians here in the area.
Nice.
So we've had a couple of musicians that have come down with cancer where they've raised money and made donations to help with those bills, as well as different. Like when Ray fell off the ladder and broke his shoulder, broke his arm up by his shoulder, they were able to, help him out when he lost out on some gigs. So it'll be great, and it'll be nice to be able to give back here locally, and do that while we're on the road. And I'm really looking forward to that. Joe Elton, the owner of Elite Customs, is going to meet us up in at the Tracy and bring up the guitars there.
Cool.
And then, we're going to do that and have a lot of fun. Brendan, after spending a couple minutes setting them up, goes and plays those guitars on stage for Brick Part 2. And then we bring the guitar back out to the front where the raffle continues. People can continue buying raffle tickets there. And at the end of the night, we pull a winner, and those people that person that gets it must be present to win, obviously. But they walk out with the guitar and a gig bag. And, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a recap, did we ever talk about the 25th, the October 25th, the Niswonger?
That was a great show. That was a great show.
It's amazing when
that's Greenville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's cool. There's a place in Florida that is kind of the same thing. It's a high school, but they have a performing arts, like 1,100 seat performing arts center attached to it. And same thing here with the Niswonger Theater. It's attached to a high school, and they have a kind of like that had that Penn's Peak feel, where it was just a bunch of band posters on the wall of different people that have performed there.
Sure.
Yeah,
big name acts.
Yeah, they've had I'll keep forgetting who's he was there. Michael McDonald performed there. In fact, I think I took a photo with him. I just did like a selfie video.
That way you don't keep forgetting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You
Very
get
clever.
me.
Very clever.
You get me. Every time you're here. But I think granted they were in high school, but the choir that we had from the Niswonger, the high school there, I think they were the ones that were standing there at the beginning, just mean mugging the audience, and really got into it.
Mm-hmm.
They're throwing their
Mean
fists
mugging.
up in the air.
Yeah, they were just like, the angst. It's real. So, do you think that when we have these shows where we have a choir, do you think it affects the show vibe, between in general?
Absolutely.
How so?
Well, I mean, it's like I said, you talk about the ultimate give back. And I mean, like, what can you give a kid that you can't hold, but they'll remember forever? And it's like one of their first experiences on stage, and to hear the roar of the crowd and see the lights, and you'll know right then and there if you have the bug or not. And I think us creating that for kids, I mean, that's huge, because I remember being that age and, being on a stage and feeling so overwhelmed and the butterflies, but then also realize it's the most terrifying yet chaseable thing I've ever seen, where it's walking closer to the edge of the building going, I can't fly yet, but it's fun being up this high. And it's kind of just giving that inspiration to kids. I think that's really cool. There's a local kid that comes out to some of my shows here, and his name is Mike. Shout out to Mike Drum. I don't know if you're listening to this, Mike. He's now 13, but he started coming out when he was 11, and he brought a set of drumsticks to the show. And he's just tapping on the chair, and his family's hanging out. And I could see, as I'm playing, he's playing to what I'm to what I'm playing. Like him and I are kind of synced up, so I'm like AC/DC. I know you can play it. Get up there. And ever since then, every now and again, his family will come out and he'll get to jump on stage and
Nice.
just like a nice little sample of rock stardom for this growing young lad. And check out Mike Drum. He's got a YouTube channel. He plays a lot of Slipknot, a lot of like harder music, and he's awesome. And just to give that kind of support because I see so much of myself in him. You know, when I was his age, wanting to get on stage and play drums, and so to be able to give that back, it's huge.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, I think we're about at our hour, a little over.
Right on.
You guys have any closing thoughts?
Well, I mean, we're looking forward to the next 7 shows in Florida. It's a great way to end the year. We're going to see a lot of our friends and fans that are out there. Many people are going to come from all over to come see us. I think we're going to do very well in selling tickets. If you haven't got tickets already, go out and get the tickets. Certainly follow us on Facebook. Follow us on our official Floyd Nation fan page and Floyd Nation main page.
Oh yeah, so we do have a fan club on Facebook, which surprisingly weirdly, Facebook took my account away. They just shut me down.
Wait, you too popular?
No, no.
What did you say? What did you do?
I don't know.
What did you do, Jason?
Look, you two would be like number 2 and 3 in line telling me what I've done wrong.
That's why I'm asking. I'm scared. I think I'm
right
next.
behind Tracy. So Tracy's right there going, "What did you do?" And I'm like, "I don't know." They said I broke community standards. Who believes that I broke community standards? Shut up.
I said nothing. I said it with my eyes.
I know. So yeah, no. But all right, Justin.
Thank you to everyone that comes out and supports Floyd Nation, whether it's online, especially at shows. And thank you for allowing us to be a part of your therapy, as much as you were a part of ours.
Last rapid fire question. That was beautiful, by the way. Thank you. Last rapid fire question. Recasting John Wick. Not Keanu Reeves. Why would you put Arnold Schwarzenegger in that role?
To attract the boomer crowd.
Wait, for what movie? I'm sorry.
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Schwarzenegger
as John Wick. Or Steven Seagal as John Wick.
That's money shot right there, dude.
Steven Seagal now as John Wick.
I want the two of them to do a rendition of Dumb and Dumber. Steven Seagal and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, that'd be great. That would.
You want to hear the
someone internet get on it,
right?
I want that. I want it for Christmas. Let's do it.
Tom Segura talking to you. All right. Well, this has been episode 4 of the Floyd Nation podcast, among other things, and I would like to thank my guest Justin Papillo. Only.
Sorry, Bob.
No, Bob, I give you a lot of crap, but dude, I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah, that's one of the, and again, that you said it really well. We have this, we have our, just like any relationship, just like any, because this is a marriage without, we're in a 7-way relationship here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
As we want to call it whatever you want, but we are all poly at some point. But for us to have the synchronicities and the bond, as well as the ability and the forethought to be able to want to work through, stuff and to actually have the tough conversations and put things out on the table. It's thank you all. Thank you both for being a part of this. And, I thank you for falling out of the sky and thank you for being as amazing as you were on the beach to, plant you into my head as the guy that I'm going to call when I was like, this is who I want.
Well, Jason, you're the reason I'm here.
I know.
So thank you.
You're welcome, dude. You're welcome. It's the time we spent on the beach together with Kazdia among, the other guys that we would fill in with.
Mm-hmm.
It's another extension of that college education, the non-college,
School of Hard Knocks, dude.
the school of hard grooves.
I love it.
Yeah. Right on. All right. That's it. We are out. Big shout out to our engineer, Steve. Right? Did I get that name right?
Yeah.
Right on,
Yeah.
dude. Thank you so much. All right. We'll see you next time where we talk about things that are not on the paper, like today.